Hi, I'm Reverend Wendy Craig-Purcell here at the Unity Center in San Diego. Thank you so much for watching today. If you'd like to support the work that we do here, please consider making a contribution. Go to our website. It's easy to do. Thank you in advance for that contribution.
Do you ever feel like you got it all figured out, and just when you have it all figured out, something happens, and you realize you don't have it all figured out? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I think every mother and perhaps every father knows that. Think back to raising your child. Think back to, yeah, I know. Think back to when you just finally got the sleep pattern when they were babies. And you thought, finally, I can get some sleep. And then they do what? They change. Everything changes. And it goes on like that through their growing up. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, and now you can sigh and exhale. What happens? Something changes again. Something changes again. Which really speaks to the importance of the topic that I want to share with you this morning. And that is the idea of always being a student. That should be a guiding principle in our lives. That we are always a student. That we approach our life in terms of lifelong learning. Paying attention. Looking around you. Noticing, staying alert. I love this little story that I read many years ago. It was about a shipping company, this true story, about a shipping company who was hiring for a position for a radio operator. And there were many, many, many more applicants than there were openings. And all the applicants were sitting in the outer office waiting their turn to go in and be interviewed. And one applicant walks in, sits down in the waiting room like everybody else, and there's a bit of chatter and a bit of noise, and all of a sudden this single applicant gets up and walks through the door marked private, comes back out maybe 15, 20 minutes later wearing the biggest grin. One of the other candidates sitting in the waiting room was frustrated that of the audacity of that man to walk right through the door marked private and say, "What's going on? We've been waiting here a lot longer than you have. Why did you go in?" He said, "Because I heard them tapping in Morse code." We are looking for candidates who are alert and always paying attention. If you are hearing this message, come through the door marked private. He got the job. We know how important it is today as parents, those of us who are parents, to save for our kids' college education, how essential that is in today's world. And many of us do the very best we can to make sure that we provide for that, and that is important. What is also important is that we invest in our own personal growth and education, that we invest the time and we invest the resources. There is always something more for us to learn, always something more ways for us to grow. And this is true of us spiritually as well. To invest in our spiritual growth, whether it is buying books or taking classes, but to invest in our own ongoing growth and development. I like these quotes. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. I firmly believe that every one of us pays for our life education one way or another. We either pay for it through schooling and paying attention in school and applying what we learn, or we pay for it through the school of hard knocks. Amen? We pay for our education. Maybe it's because I like to control as much of my life as I can. I know there's plenty I can't, but in those areas where I can exercise a sense of mastery and control, I want to do that. And I know that in determining what I'm going to invest my time in and where I'm going to invest my resources for my own growth is entirely up to me. Entirely up to me. And the same is true of you.
Many people enjoy Reverend Wendy's talks and meditations and aren't able to attend the Unity Center in person. If you're part of our extended family from around the world and would like to help support the Unity Center, please go to our website or download our free app, which offers even more ways to connect with the Unity Center. Namaste.